Hey everyone, Zell here, and today we're back in Destiny, and I want to talk to you guys about how gear is acquired within raids inside Destiny. And currently we only have the Vault Glass to look at, but I'm sure that this system will be in the next raid and the next raid. And I think that it isn't the best system, and let me explain why through an example. A friend made his Titan last Tuesday, and we brought him through the raid before the reset. And he got 2 pieces of raid gear on his brand new character. And this week we brought his Titan again into the raid, and he got his 3rd piece. Within 2 weeks, he was level 30 on his Titan from start to finish. That means that he cannot level up that character anymore, and he's essentially done. He doesn't even need to touch his Titan anymore if he didn't want to. Now I have another friend who has a Hunter, and we started doing the raid as early as possible, and he has not seen a single piece of raid armor yet. He has seen some guns, but not a single piece of armor. Not the gloves, not the chest, and not the boots. We have not gone into hard mode yet because we want to get a few level 30s before we do so. Just because we have fun and we like to switch people in and out, and we don't have the strongest raid team. Because then we could say that you could also get the helmet and then switch one of those pieces that he's missing for an exotic, so you can still get level 30 light on each piece of gear. However, I think that it's unfair within that discrepancy of acquisition. I don't think that someone should be able to get everything within 2 weeks and someone get nothing in 8 weeks doing the same exact thing, and their rewards for the same content are so vast and different. I think that that hurts the game and makes it so that people feel like they're not being rewarded for spending their time in the game and doing some of the hardest content that the game provides. Now, I do have a possible fix for this, and I don't know if everyone will agree with what my fix is, but I do think that it is an idea, and maybe we can extrapolate on my idea and come out with a new idea that's even better. So if you guys want to, throw a comment down and say, well, I think this might be a better way, or I do like your way, yet you might want to say that this would be the best way to implement it. I'm completely up for discussion on this, and I want to hear your discussion because it's an important part of the game. Now, my fix is adding a currency to the game and adding an NPC to spend that currency on. Now, the currency would be like a shard of glass. When you defeat the Templar and the Atheon, or just Atheon, you get a shard of glass on the character that you defeated him with. Now, what the shard of glass does is, after 5 or 10, you can bring them to an NPC that's at the very start of the raid. And he would be like the architect of glass, an architect of glass, or some strange little name, or whatever they want to come out with. I don't really mind. But the idea behind him would be that he needs the shards of glass to learn more about the vault of glass, and if you give him 10 shards of glass, you can get an armor piece. If you give him 20 or 25 shards of glass, you can get the helmet, specifically because that's hard mode only. If you give him 30 shards of glass, you can probably get a weapon of some sort, or something. You know, there's different ways to go about it. And since if it's for the Templar and Atheon and you're doing hard mode, that could be 4 or maybe 6, depending on if a hard mode gives more shards of glass. And the other thing that this NPC would be able to give you would be extra lore about the game, extra lore about the Vault Glass and what it was there for. So we could learn more about the Vault Glass by giving him 10 or 15 of these shards, and we get lore and information in exchange that then we also need to fill out our account 100% in Destiny. People would be down for that, and people like hunting for that information, and that would be a good way to create a raid that has longevity, even though we don't need gear from the raid any longer. I think that that's a really cool idea, and I think it'd be a nice way for people to have extra reasons to go into old or outdated content. And that would cover also new lore and content coming into the game through that means, and we could go on to the Grimoire on the Bungie.net and learn about stuff in a little bit more detail if we wanted to. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is that I really think that when you have a game that's like an MMO, I know that this is not an MMO, but this is a multiplayer game that has raids and group content that are like dungeons. So it does appeal to the MMO crowd. And we're used to something as MMO people, and I'm a raider myself in multiple MMOs, and I have taken a step back from MMOs. Yet, I do think that this game is close enough to an MMO to employ the same tactics, which is making sure that your community feels rewarded for the content that they're accomplishing within your game. And I think that's very important, and I think that you guys would agree with me. And this is my way of saying maybe we could fix the game by adding in a couple of changes that aren't too difficult. I don't think that it would ruin the coding too much, because it'd be like adding Zur per se on the weekends. It'd just be adding that lines of code that allow that to happen. So that's my idea. Tell me what you guys think. And if you liked the video, if you liked the discussion or the thoughts that it provoked, make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, leave a like on the video, share it with your friends if you want to, and thank you for the support if you do so. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.